Is there a Fortnite? See how many people um, shows up. I'm bored, so I'm just doing a um, late night hangout tonight. Eh, Nothing much. Just trying to stay dry since it's raining out right now. Hey there, T-Bone. Hey there, Chewy. Yeah. Oh, open panel. Anybody can come up if they like. I just have to see y'all's face. Hey there, Chewy.
How are you? Sorry, I had my mic off.
Eh, I'm good. Just was just bored, so I figured I'd do a late night stream.
Oh, yeah. So, did you grab those links that I posted in Foxy's private so that you
Eh,
can
yeah, I
figure
have
it
them.
out?
Yeah, I have them bookmarked, and I'm gonna read them. Look at them later.
Yeah. Well, that's what is required to become like a registered aquarium club in North America. It includes Canada and Mexico,
Yeah,
just so that you know.
yeah, yeah, okay. Yeah. I look at them. I also found out there's one up in Raleigh where I'm at. Didn't
Yeah.
know about it.
Yeah, there's a few in your area. Like they might not be really, really close, but none are really close to me either. I got to travel like 500 miles.
Yeah, that's my problem. I can't. I don't have no way of traveling just by scooter, and I ain't gonna ride the scooter too far from the house.
Right. But that's the case for me because of the factor that um, I live in the interior of BC. So generally, the closest one I would say would be Vancouver, right?
Yeah,
Whereas in out east land, there's lots of aquarium clubs, especially in the Boston area and that. Like there's lots of clubs out there and lots of clubs in Ontario, right? But when you live in the boonies, you got to travel a long way to have an aquarium club, right?
yeah, yeah, that's my problem. I'm in the middle of the state out in the country,
Mm-hmm.
so I figured I'd try to get one started close enough to between where I'm at and Travis is and Deborah is, because we're only like all three of us like a few hours from each other.
But the head honcho right now, I actually know the guy. Well, I knew the guy before him too. I've known the last two presidents of the Federation of Aquarium Societies. So The current president is actually one of the founders of one of the Guppy major organizations called the IGES.
Yeah, yeah. Uh, hey there, Sean.
So, did you buy your property yet?
Uh, well, I talked to the guy, and he said he can't sell.
Oh, okay.
He's still making payments on the land.
Oh, okay. So he doesn't want to divide up the property and ease back on his payments.
Yeah, yeah. I told him it'd be cheaper on him if it just let me buy a couple of acres from him.
Yeah.
But he don't want to. He don't want to
Well,
sell.
the price of property is going up, you see, so I can understand it to some degree.
Yeah, but I'm gonna try to find some land somewhere. Yeah, give me a minute, okay, Chewy?
Yeah. How you doing, T-Bones?
Okay, I'm back. The cat was having a fit to come in.
So do you like living in the boonies?
It's it's all right. There's sometimes I wish I was closer to town, but where I'm at, I could have all the animals I want.
Right. That's the problem with big city living, right?
Yeah,
Like the apartments in Vancouver, a lot of them won't allow an aquarium, and the ones that do will only allow you to have an aquarium up to 20 gallons. And that's it.
yeah. So far, I'm not supposed to have all these animals, but so far the landlord hasn't said anything about them.
Does he know about them?
Yeah, he knows about them.
Oh, well,
He just hasn't said anything.
he's probably okay with it.
Yeah, I think he's all right as long as they don't tear up anything or run down to his place and all that, which they don't go nowhere. Hmm. Yeah. So what you been up to today?
Building videos,
Yeah.
mostly on Africa and on Louisiana lately.
But I know you was gonna work on that one from that you, Terry, and Rocco was the one that y'all were talking about.
Yeah, yeah. That's in process of being worked right now. So, but I try to keep busy so that my mind doesn't, go off.
Yeah, yeah, that's me. I try to stay busy.
Yeah. It's hard to do when you can't walk.
Yeah, with me, it's hard to do when I have two slip discs in my back. It's hard for me to do a lot of stuff.
Well, I've got severe herniation in my lower spine and a broken hip and a bad knee. So I'm not going anywhere quickly.
Yeah, I don't get around like I used to. Let's see, back problems, arthritis in my knees, bone spurs on my foot.
Yep. All signs of getting old.
Yeah,
I have 3 herniated discs in my spine, so I know all about it.
yeah. Because when I was young, I was able to do all kinds of stuff. But when I hit, I think about 25 to 30, it just gone downhill. Hey there, Richard.
Well, I was doing okay up until about 34, 35 in that area. I was doing okay. Like all I had was an old hockey injury that I would ride my bike so it would strengthen up my muscles, right? So that there wouldn't be
Yeah,
so much weight on my bad knee.
yeah. So my back problem was from two car accidents and getting hit in the back with the forklift. And the forklift one happened on the job site, and they didn't want to give me workman comp for it.
My back injury was caused by a drunk driver.
And that's what caused my brother. Mine and my brother's saw two accident was drunk drivers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's got trouble with his left arm because of the accidents
Oh yeah.
where pinned the last accident it pinned his arm up in the door.
I was on public transit and drunk driver hit the C train that I was on, so um, I went flying and landed on my tailbone and hence herniations. But oh well, life continues, right?
Yeah, yeah. I'm thinking about starting another YouTube channel.
What for?
For the movies.
Oh,
Doing I'm doing the separate channel for movies.
right.
Going for that channel, going in, kind of rating the movies and kind of talking about them and and all that. Try to keep it separate from this channel.
Right. Well, sometimes the algorithm can work and sometimes it can't, right?
Yeah, yeah,
You know, like there's a lot of film documentaries on animals, right?
yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah, since I've been doing the live streams 2 or 3 times a month on movies, figure to start another channel, see how far it gets.
right.
Hey there, Angus. Because there's a few people that seems to like the my movie streams.
Yeah.
Hey there, Jenny.
Well, life is diversified, and like everybody has got various different interests, right? So
Yeah, which I got plenty of movies to talk about. I have over 600 DVDs,
yeah, I used to collect them.
and I'm still adding to the collection.
I used to collect them.
Yeah, normally I watch anywhere from 200 to 400 movies. It's a year, which a lot of people says I'm crazy for doing that.
Yeah.
But if you're a big movie buff like I am, I don't see a problem with it.
Nowadays, everything is going digital anyhow. Right?
Yeah, that's why I'm trying to get as many DVDs I can before they stop making them, or at least up until they stop making them.
Well, now it's all Blu-ray.
Yeah, I got a small collection of Blu-rays started, but I've been picking them up when I can find them cheap here
Yeah.
and there.
Well, I'm sure it'll go into the tank eventually.
Yeah,
Like it all does. Technology all goes into the tank.
yeah, yeah.
A car, like a computer, records, you know, like it all, and then it goes in cycles too, because a lot of people now want to have um, uh, records, actual vinyl.
Yeah,
You know?
they're starting to make a comeback.
Yep. Well, it's a lot better audio, man. You know.
Yeah, I got a few records that my aunt and uncle had that I heard when they passed away,
Yeah.
and which I play them here and there on the record player when I get the record player to work right.
Yeah. And that can be actually pretty hard to find nowadays. A good turntable. Like they're expensive nowadays
Yeah,
for a good turntable.
yeah, the player I have has got a cassette player, a CD player, and a radio and a record all built in together.
Right.
And for the one I have, the it's hard to find the needle for the player.
Yep. Well, that is the point. Like all of the newer machines take different needles than the ones prior, right?
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
that catch 22 with technology. Oh, you mean I can't use my old needle? I went through that when I bought my stereo, so you know. But I didn't get a record player. But I got a CD player with a cassette player because I was doing a lot of transferring of analog in video and in audio to digital format, right?
yeah.
I've been doing them for quite a while, actually.
Yeah, that's like the video games. The newer systems, they don't have discs. They're all, you have to download them now on the system.
Yep, yep. You know, so it means that you have to have internet access.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, which I'm trying to build up my PlayStation 2 game collection. I found a store that has the games for $2 each,
Right,
and I've been picking up anywhere from $2 to $10 worth of uh, games to add to my collection.
right. Well, PlayStation shouldn't be all that expensive, especially PlayStation 2.
Yeah, you see, they don't have, this place here right now. They only have PlayStation 2 games, 3 and 4, Xbox One. That's all they have. But the other games for the other systems are like $4 up to $10. So the PlayStation 2 games are the cheapest games they have.
Yeah. Yeah.
Last month I spent, I think, $20 on games, brought them home, and found $40 in one of the case. So practically I got the games for free
Yeah, you got.
because I got my money back.
Yep. Well, it might have cost you with some gas money.
It only cost me like um like 50 to 60 cents because I'm only like 2 minutes from the store.
Oh, okay.
So I made,
You're $20 up then.
yeah, I made my money back.
Yeah. Plus $20 up.
And I asked the guy one day, I'm like, oh, how often they get the games in? He's like, they come in every day. And I'm like, y'all check the cases? He's like, no, we just take them out of the box, stick them up on the shelf. I didn't tell him that I found money in it, in one of them. Yeah, he said they just stick them out on the shelf.
So how do you find any time to watch all of those DVDs?
Yeah, whenever like I mainly see from from 5 o'clock to about 1 o'clock. I'm watching movies.
Oh, okay.
Mainly at night and late at night.
Yeah. Thing was, I my wife and I were mostly into music, like music DVDs and that type of thing. We weren't really that much of the movie type, right? Like we had our few classics that we would watch, but you know, a lot of it was more like the science fiction type of.
Yeah, that's the way my mom and my stepdad is. He likes his um anime and science fiction, and my mom likes her music videos.
Yeah, yeah. So that was basically our collection, but we had a lot more, shall we say, in the lines of music than one could expect.
Yeah, my
Because
mom.
I worked in radio, so record companies would send me CDs. Okay, like here's your promo copy. Okay, so about a good third of my portion I didn't pay for. Right?
And I can't believe the one collection of what my mom has. She has almost the whole all of Journey's music uh, DVDs.
Yep. Yep. I had all of the Rush DVDs, including bootlegs. I had several Queen videos, including bootlegs. You know, we had a very large collection.
Yeah, I think I have a few Kiss videos, music videos around.
Yeah, I had a few of those myself.
Because that's about the only rock band I listen to is Kiss.
You realize I saw Kiss before their first album even came out?
Did you?
Yeah. They toured up here in Canada just before their album came out. And they were backing up a band called Savoy Brown. And I was like, 16 years of age? Around there. Yeah. Uh,
My dad met um Gene.
I worked for a band that was managed actually by Paul. A kids tribute out of Canada that was managed by Paul. And the guy gave the one guitar player ended up playing with the recording act. The guitar player ended up being a chef, and the bass player, last I heard, was working in a music store selling guitars. So,
Yeah, um, my dad is a house painter, and one of the houses that he painted was owned by Gene Simmons.
oh yeah,
And my dad got to meet him.
yeah. Well, I've met Paul. I haven't met it. The guy who I would really like to meet is um, um, what's his name? Uh, Ace. Ace Frehley. That's a guy who I would love to meet. But that's due to the old days, right? So,
They're my fish tank. I figured there would be more people uh, on the. There's only like four in the chat. Somebody else must be on.
I'm going to go to mute because
Yeah, open panel. Anybody can come up if they like. Just hanging out. Yeah, let's see. Oh, how are you doing now, my fish tank? Yeah, the kids we wasn't allowed to listen to them at the house. It just had to really go to my friend's house to listen to stuff like that. One day was all right. Richard just been raining here, um, on and off all day. It's really been sitting inside and all that. Yeah, I hear that. My fish tank.
So I posted a link behind the chat there in private. Okay.
Okay.
The video is around my second last gig with them, actually, around that time. Uh, yeah, it's around 1996. So, however long ago that was.
Okay. I'll check it out.
It was done in a club up here in Canada.
Yeah.
But the band was managed by Paul Stanley.
That's cool.
And the band leader is the guy who plays Paul Stanley, but he's actually a way better guitar player than his role in Kiss. He actually can play like Eddie Van Halen, like note for note, right? Like he's a great player, but he would much rather be a front guy and, like just play chords, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was. Me and my friends, we kind of did a little cover band here in town from middle school to high school. But after high school, we all just kind of went our own ways.
Well, I was sort of lucky because my locker partner's older brother was a guitar player that was older than us. And every one of the guys in that band made it in the recording industry. Every one of them. Of my basically first band. Right? And I'm just a kid loading gear. But they got me involved in the music industry so much that, like my life was changing. I could no longer play hockey and I could no longer think about being a marine biologist because you need a scuba ticket, right? And you can't get a scuba ticket when you suffer from seizures.
And the last gig that we played was our high school prom.
Oh, yeah.
That was the last gig that we all played because I was the drummer in the band.
Well, they would beg us to come and play our high school because we were recording artists, right? Oh, do you guys want to do your old high school prom? Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't seen any of them, I think 10, 15 years now.
Oh, I talked to one of my old girlfriends from back then. Like, she was my best buddy, We hung out together. She worked for a concert promoter, right? And I worked for a rock band, and it was cool. I would get into gigs, like go and see Van Halen for free.
That was cool.
Yeah, but back then, like it was like $10. Nowadays, it's like $200 to go and see a concert, right? Like a friend of mine works for U2, and like I'm on the guest list, but I'm going, holy Dinah, are these tickets ever expensive? $200 a shot? Holy Dinah. But they began losing money in the digital market, and that's how they were making it up. Right? You
Yeah.
want to steal our music? Okay, we'll make you pay to come and see the shows. That's how it works.
Only been to two concerts, and that was two on country concerts I went to.
I've done a little bit of the country circuit. I did sound for Merle Haggard for about 2 weeks around there. Was involved with Merle.
And you see, I went to Johnny Cash's concert the right before he retired,
Right.
and then and a Willie Nelson concert in Louisiana.
Yeah. Well, Willie's still going.
Yeah,
Hard to believe that he's still going. And Charlie Daniels, we only lost last year.
yeah, yeah. One of his childhood home is here in town
Yeah.
that he lived in when he was growing up.
Well, my friend who does a country music radio show said, "Oh, guess who I get to interview?" And I went, "Who?" And he goes, "Charlie Daniels." And that was rock and country. Like The Devil Goes Down to Georgia was a big, big song that reached out to a large market.
Yeah, that was a good song.
Yeah. And then he got Skinnered, right, which is sort of like a country rock band. And 38 Special, and my favorite, Molly Hatchet. I wish I grew up in Florida. You guys had a great music scene down there.
Yeah, actually, let's see. Now I've been to three country, no, four, because down south at a park at the fairground they had Carrie Underwood and Taylor Swift. It was before Taylor Swift switched over her music.
Right. Talk about one successful woman. There's one.
Yeah,
Like, I know people around the Lady Gaga kind of thing too, right?
yeah,
That everything that woman does, she's got a lot of talent. Like, for the style of music, like, a lot of people don't realize the talent of Lady Gaga. It's because of the music that she does, right?
yeah, yeah. Yeah, I had a chance to meet Taylor Swift at her concert, but they wasn't letting no one in the back.
Right. She's
Even if we had the VIP bands, they still wouldn't let no one in the back.
she's too young for me. That's like Britney Spears. You know.
Yeah, the first CD I ever bought was Britney Spears CD, her first one.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
My buddy owns the snake that was around her neck. Remember that famous snake picture of the golden ball
Yeah.
python? Yeah. Well, my friend owns that. He's an artist, and his snake is more famous in a way. That snake has been on stage with so many celebrities.
It's what a python or
Uh,
something like that.
A ball python. Yeah, a golden bipod. Like my friend's a snake keeper, okay, but he understands fish too, right? So like he dabbles in both the music art as well as he's done some big work, but nothing goes better than having your snake with Alice Cooper.
Yeah, yeah,
Like that rules. Like for Brittany, I was going, well, maybe it'll wrap itself around her neck. Whereas with Alice, it was that rules, man. When your snake's on stage with Alice Cooper, it's like, yeah, okay. But that snake won't bite anybody.
yeah. Alan Cooper, I can't really get into his songs.
You got to be around the old kind of thing, right? School's out for summer, that kind of thing. Like it was a lot of my generation that made Alice Cooper because he came up in like the late '60s, okay, early '70s, like when I'm a teenager, and that's where a majority of his hits came from was through that. But there was a lot of publicity around it, like like what's his name? Vincent Price did an album with him, and like just big. Alice is just huge. Like him or not, he's paid his dues in the rock world, right?
Yeah, I like this. For some reason, this can't really get into his music though.
Yeah. You see, I'm the opposite way. I get into Alice a lot more than I get into Kiss. But you know, I admire any band that wears makeup. It's like it's like people don't know who you are, and it's like a total different identity. Okay, so like Gene had his rough moments when he had to take off his makeup, right?
Yeah,
And that's well documented in documentaries. So
my brother listens to what's his name, the Manson guy. Uh, can't think can't think of the name. The last name's Manson.
oh, Charles
Yeah, Charles Manson. My brother listens to him.
uh, or uh, or Marilyn.
Maryland, I think it is.
Yeah. Oh, I love Marilyn Manson.
Yeah, my brother got
That's
got the whole collection of his.
yeah. I had the whole video collection. It's part of my collection that burned up. I loved him, and I'm also a big Ramstein fan. Like I follow a lot of more European music than I do American music nowadays.
Yeah, my brother found a shop. I think it was in St. Louis that had a bunch of the older records and that of his. And my brother went and dropped about $3,000 or $4,000 on the whole collection.
Oh, I wouldn't doubt that. Collections can be very expensive.
And he also found a couple of the CDs and that was signed by him too. That signed by him.
So, what state are you in again, Ricky?
Yeah, I mean, I'm in North Carolina.
Oh, that's right, home of the Hurricanes,
Yeah, yeah,
or pretty close to it. Like I don't know the difference between North and South Carolina too much.
The yeah you talking about um
The
the
hockey
the
team.
hockey team? Yeah,
Yeah,
yes here in North Carolina.
yeah.
They're they're my favorite hockey team.
Yeah, well, they used to play in Hartford. They used to be known as the Hartford Whalers. I actually like that team. Like like you've got a few of our players down there from Calgary. Well, you have one now. One of your defensemen is from a dealing with Calgary, right?
Yeah, yeah. I like to go to one of the Hurricanes games.
Have you ever been to a hockey game?
Yeah, I haven't been to a hockey game. I've been to the football game and baseball game and basketball game. Just haven't
Oh,
been to a hockey game.
you got to go to a hockey game. You like it's like football on skates. There is a lot of hitting in that sport, especially in the playoffs.
Yeah, yeah. I watch it on TV whenever I could catch it on TV. I'll watch it.
Like that's what I used to do up until I hurt my knee. Like I hurt my knee, and there went my hockey career. Like I played all the way up till when I was 16 years of age, where uh, you can be in tournaments playing for your country. Let's put it that way. Yeah. At around 15 years of age, they allow you to start playing against other teams. I've played against some Swedish teams and I played against some Czech teams. Way back when I was a little boy.
And maybe one day I'll be able to get to go to a game.
Well, I was cheering for you guys up against Tampa Bay. Now it's up to my team to beat them. I'm a big New York Islander fan. That's my favorite team. But I also cheer for Calgary because that's my home team, right? But uh, growing up, I cheered for Toronto and then Buffalo for a little while, and then the Islanders and Atlanta came into the
Yeah,
leagues. I cheered for both.
yeah,
Well,
yeah.
Atlanta moved up to Calgary. The Atlanta Flames moved up to Calgary. So I cheer for both the Islanders and the Flames. But my choice would be, the Islanders. I'm not so pleased with Calgary right now.
Yeah. Yeah, my dad used to watch hockey, but I think he stopped stopped watching. I think when Gretzky left.
Oh yeah, well, Gretzky was around Edmonton when I used to play Edmonton a lot, like in the clubs and in the arena there. So that was the guys that I would be hanging out with in Edmonton. Like Mark Messier would come out clubbing after every game. You would always see him in a club. Always. The guy liked rock and roll.
Yeah,
That's why he ended up in New York.
yeah,
And ended up with Madonna.
yeah. Yeah, I don't remember what year he left hockey, but whatever the year he left, that's when my dad stopped watching hockey.
Well, Gretzky's original girlfriend was a country singer up in Edmonton. And then they broke up, and then he met his wife in LA, and then all of a sudden he heads for LA, and he actually becomes bigger, like the stardom kind of thing. But he never won a cup outside of Edmonton. The team he had in Edmonton was a great team. I know the Battle of Alberta between Calgary and Edmonton was insane in the 80s. And I was going, and that would be like my guys that I would be playing against. That would be insane, playing against those guys. Right. But I got hurt, so.
Yeah.
You cannot play hockey with a bad knee.
Yeah. Nah.
Or,
I need to call a friend of mine, see if he ever got a chance to try out for a hockey team.
oh, yeah.
Because he played hockey during high school, and then in college he played hockey, and it's kind of on and off for a couple of small teams here and there.
How old is he?
He's 2 years younger than I am. And I'll
So
be
he would be influenced by Gretzky and those guys, right?
yeah.
Okay. Okay. That's what Gretzky did for hockey, basically. He made hockey grow in the United States in a big way.
I have to call and see if he tried out or not. You see, can't remember what team. Trying to remember what team it was he was trying out for. I can't think of the team. I know it wasn't the Hurricanes. I think it was one of the teams out west somewhere.
Yeah, well, before Gretzky, after Gretzky, look at the teams that have come into the league. Lost Vegas, Nashville. Those two teams never played against Gretzky.
Yeah.
Like he made that sport grow in a big way in the United States.
Hey there, Buffalo. Yeah, I might try to call them on later today and see about it.
Yeah, it would be interesting. That is what I liked about living in Vancouver, was because during the daytime I could be hanging out with some of my friends that would come in and play against us. No?
Yeah, but I have met two wrestlers that's from my town. That's in that wrestles.
Well, you do know who comes out of Calgary, don't you?
What was that?
You do know the wrestler that comes out of Calgary, don't you?
Nah.
He is a very good friend of mine. Ever heard of Bret the Hitman Hart?
I believe so. I believe I heard of him.
Yeah. He was a WWF champion back in the day. His brother Owen was killed by an accident in the WWF. His brother Owen fell from.
Yeah, I remember that. It was on a pay-per-view or something that he was coming in. He the rope or something broke or something.
Yeah. Well, my dad and Bret's dad were good friends. Like, Bret went to a different school than I did, but we sort of grew up together ever since, like, around when I was like 12 years old is when I began hanging around with Bret.
Yeah.
I taught him not to play hockey against me, and he taught me not to wrestle against him.
Yeah, the two wrestlers that's from my area is the Hardy Boys.
Yeah, I know who your guys are.
Yeah.
They're wrestlers. I like the Hardy Boys.
Yeah, I went to school with their cousin. Their cousin was like, "Hey, you want to meet my two famous cousins?" I'm like, "Who's your two famous cousin. He's like, the Hardy Boys. I'm like, okay. And I got to meet them 1 year.
Well, they were a good team. Like they were a great wrestling team. So was the Hart Foundation. Jimmy Neidhart and Brett were tag team champions for years, right before Brett went solo. Brett was like a very very good tag team type of specialist,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Hey there, Travis. Uh, you can come up if you want to, Travis. Yeah, it was kind of cool to meet the Hardy Boys before they kind of separated and went their own ways.
Well, Stu did two things for me. He taught me how to give an elbow in hockey, like his elbow. Like he made it famous, okay?
Yeah,
Okay, his
yeah,
elbow move, right? Like so quick that the referee don't see it. Yeah.
yeah,
And he also taught me about how to. This was good for skating drills, okay? You know how a wrestler will throw you up against the ropes and you come back from it, and they duck under and you jump over.
yeah, yeah,
That that was the only time that I would be in a ring with Bret Hart, because they were trying to teach me more agility of jumping over people.
yeah. Yeah, there's four wrestlers I like to meet, but I don't know if I'll ever get to meet them or not.
Uh, uh, I also knew the Wolverine. What's his name?
Uh, I know who you're talking about. I just can't think of his name.
The guy who went nuts. Uh,
Uh,
like I met so many of those guys back when I was like a kid. Like Brett's two older brothers also wrestled. Okay,
uh,
like they were like older brothers. You know, like and I was a good friend of Bruce's. Like Brett's older brother, just older than him.
uh,
Okay, I was a good friend, and then there was little Owen, right? And like the
uh,
whole family just took that death hard, man. But nobody harder than his wife.
yeah, yeah, Chris is a good wrestler.
Yeah, Chris Benoit is the guy's name. That's
Uh,
right.
yeah, he's a good wrestler.
He
Yeah,
was. He's no longer with us. He committed suicide.
the did he?
Yep. This,
I didn't know he
steroid,
didn't know
steroid,
that.
steroids drove him crazy. Killed his wife and then killed himself.
Yeah, I didn't know that. Yeah,
Yeah.
the four I like to meet the Kane and Undertaker,
Well,
the
we
Big
lost
Show, and the Rock.
we lost one of my favorites, and that was the Warrior,
Yeah,
the Ultimate Warrior.
yeah, yeah,
He was one of my favorite wrestlers, one of my favorite people.
yeah.
You know,
My dad's favorite was Jake the Snake.
like that's going back. And then there's Ric Flair.
Yeah, Ric Flair I like to meet. See, he's supposed to have a
His daughter's wrestling nowadays.
yeah. Ric Flair and Hogan's supposed to have a school here in North Carolina somewhere.
I think
The-
she recently posed for Playboy magazine too. If I
yeah,
could be wrong. I read something about her posing for a magazine. I feel like, oh, that's cool. because she's a good wrestler, you know,
Yeah,
and she does like ever since around the 90s, the storylines got real bad. Okay, like ever since Vince McMahon's son took over and Triple H,
yeah,
like some of those
yeah,
storylines were pathetically bad.
yeah. I'm trying to remember his daughter's name.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm trying to remember Ric Flair's daughter's name too, and it's not coming to me.
yeah. I can't think of. Yeah, I can't remember. Hey,
Maybe
no,
Lou
is it?
probably will know.
Is it Hulk Hogan's daughter wrestling too, or something like that?
Yeah, I think both of them are. I think both daughters are wrestling, if I remember right. I don't know. I haven't followed it for years. You know, e- ever since NWO, the W, where everybody went over to that other wrestling federation.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
was on the time that I got real sick of wrestling. Real sick. It was like, really? And it was around that time the storylines in the WWF were going into the tubes because it was Triple H, Helmsley, and Stephanie McMahon show,
yeah,
and
yeah.
her brother. Yeah, come on now.
Yeah. I kind of stopped watching wrestling after China and The Rock and most of the other ones like that left.
Well, I'm a Hacksaw Jim Duggan kind of fan, and the guy with the bird, Coco Beware.
Yeah,
Used to
yeah,
hang out with a stripper up here for a while that had a tagger, okay, who was around the music scene a lot,
yeah,
okay. Her name was Jane Jones, okay. She posed in Penthouse.
yeah. My mom's favorite wrestler is shoot, what's his name? He's the one that plays in the Guardians of the Galaxy movie.
Yeah,
Uh, shoot.
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, I can't think of his name. That's my mom. My mom's favorite wrestler.
I think
Uh,
no, it's not Hercules. It's something similar though,
uh, yeah, I can't
named
think.
after a Greek god, if I remember right.
Yeah, yeah, I just can't think of his name.
Yeah, yeah, he's a good wrestler, and so was Steve Austin.
Steve Austin. I didn't really care for Steve Austin, but
Oh, I liked his attitude. His attitude was kick butt.
yeah, have you seen any of the shows that he did?
No, just I only got to watch him wrestle. Okay,
Yeah,
like wrestling up here in Canada comes on like in the afternoon when you're like sitting in your hotel room and being bored
yeah,
and you're watching TV and you turn it on and it's like Saturday in the afternoon and it's like okay, we can watch wrestling. Okay, I guess we're watching wrestling, right? So,
yeah. Steve Austin's got a show almost like Survivor, almost.
like a lot of my life was spent on the road as much as those wrestler guys were, right? Like, you know, and all of them would be club guys. Them and hockey players up in Canada in clubs all the time back in the 80s. All the time. Especially in Vancouver.
that's another event I like to go to. Is one of the wrestling events.
And yeah, like I said, I used to follow it, but after a while, I got real bored of it. The only guy that really got me near the later time of when I was watching, and this was on NWO, it was Sting. I really loved how he had his show together, and what made him was his makeup. Same with the Ultimate Warrior.
Yeah, my brother liked Sting.
Like Owen Hart used to wrestle under the blue blazer too, right? You know, they called him a superhero back then. Yeah, okay, let the little kid be a superhero.
And another one I liked is the wrestler that. Sorry about that, Chewy.
That's all right.
Yeah, the other wrestler I always liked was the one that always had the sock on his hand. Uh, I think it's Mick Foley or something like that.
Oh yes, yes. Oh yeah, he was nuts. I liked him too.
Yeah, he's also been under a couple of different names too.
I also really like the Undertaker, like the dark side. Like
Yeah, yeah, the Undertaker's him and Kane is two of my favorite wrestlers, along with The Rock and Big Show.
I know a guy that's a cousin of the Undertaker. You know, I haven't seen him in quite a while, actually. Not cousin of the Undertaker, but
Yeah, my dad always liked Andre the Giant when before he passed away.
I remember the Andre the Giant Hulk Hogan fight to this day when Hulk won the championship. And all the little Hulksters went crazy. You know, like his theme song was such an uplifting type of song, right? Now you look at guys like Y2J. You know Y2J, right?
Uh, yeah,
Do you know that he's a singer for a hard rock band?
is he?
Yes.
Huh, I
Yes.
didn't know that. CM Punk, he used to be a ball player or something.
Wait until you get a load of this. I actually know his bass player very well.
Yeah, I think it's CM Punk or something like, or one of them that used to play ball and decided to go into wrestling.
I hope you get the peace you need. You are beautiful on the inside. You are innocence first.
Are you there?
Yeah, 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 I'm
I
here.
I posted a link to one of their songs. They're on Century Media Records, and they're managed out of Australia. Okay, but their bass player is one of the endorsed artists by Halo Guitars, the company that I
Yeah.
used to work for
Yeah.
as a
Okay.
publicist. So I know their bass player quite well. I've followed this band for a long time, actually.
Okay. There's the one up talking about that used to be a ball player that Travis mentioned. He used to be a football player and then decided to go into wrestling.
They sound really, really heavy and like, uh, shall we say, I sort of know what Y2 is after. Okay, but nah, he doesn't have a mean enough voice.
Yeah.
Like I see what they're trying to do with him, but they need like the guy from Disturbed, you know. But like the band is very good. Like what holds them back is is Y2.
Yeah.
You know, like he does have a very talented band. Like he got the right players, okay, but they would do a lot better with another voice, in my opinion. Okay, that's the name, Batista.
Yeah, but yeah, that's that's who my mom. That's my mom's
That's
favorite.
who your mom likes, yeah.
Yeah, she goes every time she sees a picture of him. She goes crazy.
Yeah, well, I understand that. Okay, okay, now this is my guy. Okay, I posted his link in there. My friend is a guitar player. He's played with a lot of cool people, including guys in the band The Scorpions. Okay,
Yeah,
like
okay.
he was the guitar player for James Kotak, the drummer of the Scorpions band. Okay, I gotta get that for you too. Okay, so that you know kind of the storyline here.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
have you ever heard of, shall we say, uh, Tommy Lee?
Yeah.
Okay, well, Tommy Lee has got a little sister by the name of Athena, who is married to the Scorpions drummer. James Kotak is also a singer for Kotak, and my friend Rick used to be their guitar player. Okay, Rick was the guitar player of one of the bands I worked for, Black Symphony out of Calgary. But
Scorpions, they got a few good songs I like.
yeah, but we lost our singer because he was murdered in Atlanta. Get a load of that one. And so Black Symphony moved south, and Rick got a different band of people together, like, and restarted Black Symphony down in Los Angeles. And now he lives in Houston, Texas. He's like a 5-time instrumental guitar player of Canada. He's won the award 5 times. Scary guitar player.
Yeah, I remember you talking about the one getting killed in Atlanta on someone else's stream. I can't remember whose stream it was.
Yeah. Well, that's from that band, okay. And Rick and I have known each other for years. He's actually a goalie too, okay. He's actually won the Calder Cup, like that's the AHL for hockey. He's actually won a championship at the age of 50 years of age. He still plays hockey, and it's about 3 years later. Like, really? The guy is so talented, man. That does not surprise me, Chalupa. It does not surprise me at all. Like, back at that time, I was managing the Vault of Metal radio show, and we were getting a Y2 for that. And the host interviewed the bass player that I represented. So, like, hey, I have this contract with Halo Guitars. I need you to interview some people. And then, of course, they would introduce you to more people, and more people, and more people, and more people. It's a lot of work managing a radio show like that. A lot of work.
Yeah.
Like to keep it competitive with other syndicated radio shows like Y2s and Alice Coopers, and like, it's a lot of hard.
Yeah. Night, Richard.
So, did you ever see the movie Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3?
Yeah, I like them. I like those movies.
Well, the guy who played, like, the guy who does the hacksaw part, I forget his name, we had on our radio show too. And we also had somebody from Aliens on our program. Like, some of the people that work in the animation of it. Pretty fascinating stuff. You know, like think of the animation of that alien, and think of the concept of where it comes from. It comes from like its dog is from the moray eel. Did you know that?
Yeah. Nah.
Yeah. The whole design of the alien's mouth and how it would eat was designed around that creature, the moray eel.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, yeah.
That's almost like who was George Lucas in one of his movies. One of the characters he come up with the idea because of his it was his dog's name. Uh, I think it was the Indiana Jones movie that
Well,
he. I think it was that Lucas has
I
got the name for one of the characters from his dog.
I myself am more into like nature documentary films, and like basically that's the type of video that I do. I do educational documentaries. That's what I do. Okay, like getting the direct information out of like universities and that kind of thing, dealing with fish. Okay, that's what I do. I study the nature of the fish where it comes from, right?
Yeah,
Like the fish up here in Canada, in Western Canada, the bluegill was introduced to our waters. It is an invasive species, theoretically, but it was put in our riverways for to add another fish because of depleting rainbow trouts, it being endangered up here. So instead of that, we now have bluegill in our rivers.
I'm I'm trying to get a real famous person to do an interview for on my channel. I don't know if I'll get them or not.
Who is he?
Jeff Dunning.
Who is? What does he do?
He's what's the name? He's what's it? He he's um he does act with puppets.
Oh, okay.
Um, can't think what the
Would you happen to know his management company?
yeah, well friends with one of his managers on YouTube or not YouTube on Facebook.
Right. Well, you probably would be able to get him then.
But he hasn't gotten back to me yet if he could get them or not.
Yeah, well, usually management does have some pull, but it all depends on their contract, right? If he's contracted to like a television contract or something else, sort of like Animal Planet.
Yeah, he's Jeff Dunning does a lot of work with comedy Central
Yeah,
and Netflix.
yeah. Well, it all depends on those contracts, right? Okay, like I interviewed the two people from Tank, okay, but I got the interview through Animal Planet. Okay, the publicist of Animal Planet accepted my offer to have him on the show just as the show was getting started. Look at
Yeah,
how big it became.
yeah. This
Yeah.
is Jeff Dunning right here, Joey. Don't know if you could see that too good.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's a puppeteer or something like whatever. How you ever say it?
Yeah, well, they all have got their own managements and their own publicity departments and all of that, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Like I worked for a couple of management companies out of the United States. One from Los Angeles, and the other one was out of Milwaukee area. Okay, the one out of Milwaukee was all rock stars. The one out of LA was anything from film producers to rock stars, like book writers, all sorts of stuff, right? And usually, when a management company has got their own publicist, whatever that person says goes over top of like a record company or that type of thing, right?
and if I could get him, that one video might probably get a lot of views.
Yeah, yeah. You could get a ton of views
Yeah, because he's a big
if you
big,
if you
big
have
guy.
if you have the social network to pull it off, and that is part of the picture too.
Yeah, yeah. I could
View,
probably.
views is reaching out through publicity departments. Like I know of like a guy by the name of Jeff Albright who was Queensryche's publicist. Okay, when Queensryche had Jeff Tate, because he was more Jeff Tate's publicist than the rest of the band. Right? To get the singer Jeff Tate, it took me talking to Jeff. Okay, but for me to get any other band member, it was me talking to them personally.
Yeah,
I knew them, right? Like Jeff said, "Oh, I don't mind if you do that because their schedule is not like Jeff Tate's." And then he would go, "When do you want Jeff Tate?" Right? And that was like I dealt with other publicity companies as well as heading up my own, sort of, right?
yeah. And if I had him on my channel, did a video with him on my channel, I'd probably pick up some pineapples too on the way.
Yeah, because it's going to be a name that is typed in the browser of YouTube.
Yeah, well, he has a YouTube channel too.
Yeah,
He's doing the same. He's doing what Jess is talking about doing, the radio side too.
yeah.
Jeff is already he's doing that with his, and he's on YouTube and he's on certified or however you say that
Yeah.
music app, and I think he's on iHeartRadio and Apple.
Well, it's a lot more easier to do in comedy than it is music.
Yeah,
You want to know why?
yeah,
It's all got to do with the copyright issue.
yeah.
Music copyright is all over YouTube, whereas comedy, it's not so bad.
Yeah, and one of the other channels I watch, she's also got a platform that broadcasts that she does with her own husband and her ex boyfriend and his wife on those apps too.
Yeah.
So there's a few YouTubers that's already gone ahead and starting to do that.
We were doing it up until 2 years ago. Is when Raven decided to rethink about it because of all of the issues in dealing with music, and then you get a copyright strike and a whole bit. Like, you have to know what you're doing on YouTube for the type of programming that you want to set up.
Yeah, yeah. The other one that started doing it, she's been on YouTube for 11, 12 years now.
Yep.
So, and she's just kind of branching out a little bit.
Well, I've been in internet radio ever since 1998. I I was starting my own radio show in the fish industry when Joey was starting his YouTube channel.
Uh, Joey, uh, Joey Vaughn, King of DIY.
Yes, yes. And still, his numbers really didn't touch the numbers that we did on internet radio.
Yeah, I don't really follow Joey's channel.
Oh, I don't either. I'm just telling you the time period,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
You know, like there's a lot of laws and a lot of things that you got to know about a lot of things as to how things go on YouTube. Like copyright laws and all of that sort of stuff. Oh my God.
yeah. That's one thing I have to.
Here's the difference between YouTube and radio. In radio, you pay the royalty collectors through your agent. Okay. You pay them the amount of money to have their song played. What if you do an interview and you're already being demonetized for that interview just because you played one of that artist's song, but the rest of the hour and a half you spent interviewing? You see the issues that YouTube has now?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That's one thing I have.
Well, on internet radio, well, we're playing your songs, we're doing this, blah, blah, blah. When do we get you?
Yeah,
And we're paying your royalties.
if I do another channel with the movies, I have to see about the copyrights of the movies if I'm allowed to play this a certain bit of the movie on my channel or not.
Yeah, you've got a lot of issues with that. But like, let's take for an example, they cover a movie on my Canadian Broadcasting Corporation, which is public radio. They are deemed public radio. But they've already written out the credits inside of their broadcast so that Warner Brothers and all of that, who knows that are copying those to make videos of it, are not getting slammed by a copyright infringement. Do you see what I'm getting at there?
Yeah,
It's got to do with how the material is licensed. I wouldn't be taking a trailer from something unless I knew that a public broadcasting corporation has looked after it in the States because of how it's licensed.
yeah. I have to. I'm in the middle of doing research about what I could do with playing a certain part of the movie. And
Well, I know people that do it on YouTube. I know people that are from that industry that are bookers that are doing that type of thing. And unless you're getting waived by the company, I wouldn't want to be messing with
Uh, Yeah, I know a lot of people play certain bits and pieces of movies without the volume. I don't know if that would um if that would work or not. Playing without playing the volume of the movie.
them. Well, there's lots of issues, and I wouldn't want. I would talk to somebody that knows the industry. I know the industry in the music world. I know that certain material is blocked, like the Eagles material is all blocked. Okay, Ronnie James Dio's music is all blocked. Okay, but Iron Maiden, they'll just demonetize your video and go, "Thank you for putting it into your video. We get the money, but you can play the music." Okay, that's the type of thing that you're up against with video and audio. Either one or the other is going to have something,
Yeah, yeah,
unless it's licensed through Creative Commons license. I like as in a public broadcaster, I would stay as far away from it as possible.
yeah. I'm gonna do a lot of research before I do the other channel because I don't want to get in trouble of doing something wrong.
Yeah, well, the thing is I'm from the music industry, so I know what does what, right? Because I'm in the back pocket of management. Like I've had music lifted for my friend who painted a painting of Ronnie James Dio when he died, and he put music behind it and got it okayed by the record company finally, because it was a tribute to a guy who he did artwork for before, and management knew about it. Like there are some exceptions, right? But the thing is you know, a lot of the artist's work is copyrighted through their publishing companies, and a lot of them have got various different ways of how they approach you.
Yeah, yeah. Uh, I'm not gonna go very much longer on, Joey.
Well, I'm just hanging out with you so you get some time.
Yeah, I'm gonna go on another minute or two.
Yeah. Well, I got some work to do myself. I'm working on some
Yeah,
stuff.
because I'm at an hour and 39 minutes.
Yeah. But I thought I would jump up with you so that you would have somebody to talk to.
Yeah, yeah, 'cause it's only showing two people in the chat.
Well, there's four
Well, well,
watching.
it jumped up four now. It was two about a minute ago.
Yeah. But anyhow, I have to go too. I'm getting beat tonight.
Yeah,
Some
yeah, it's almost 1:50 here, and I'm getting tired now.
Yeah, well, it's like getting to on to be 11 here, so and I've had a long day, and I still have a few things to do. So,
Yeah, yeah, I got a few things to knock out and do before I go to bed.
so I will let you go, and maybe somebody will pop up, or you can end it.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go ahead and end it. I'm,
Okay,
I'm at an hour and 40 minutes now, so
here, Ricky.
so that'll work right there. Yeah, yeah. Thanks for coming up, Chewy.
Yeah, no problem.
Uh, okay. I hope everyone has a good night, and I'll see everyone in chat and that tomorrow. So I'll see y'all later. Bye.